Jose Rivero is buying his first tank of petrol at the newly set prices. On Wednesday, the government announced regular fuel would increase 1,000% per liter and 6,000% for premium. Those numbers may be daunting, but in reality, it's still cheap for Jose to fill up. A tank of fuel now only costing him $2.50. And yet, from the perspective of a bus driver who has seen his costs rise and without his salary doing the same, the government price hike didn't go far enough.
It's still too cheap. It's a giveaway. They should have increased it more.
Because despite the hike, it's still the cheapest petrol in the world. And yet, this race presupposes that everything else will cost more. One of the first to feel the impact of the new price of petrol were bus drivers. But this increase will soon have an effect across the board, from bus fares, spare parts, and even produce. The sentiment of some economists is the president's move could make matters worse, not better.
There is no way that just a devaluation, no matter how large or how important, it's going to solve the problem if there are no changes in other parts of the economic policy, both at the macro level, like the fiscal and monetary policy, but very importantly at the micro level, at the sectoral level, at the level of the institution that have generated the distortions that Venezuela is facing.
According to OBUCHI, a price increase on its own does little to solve the structural problems of a model that favors price controls. As always, it's the most vulnerable sectors of society who tend to feel the pain from reforms the most.
The hike came late, and when it came, it was so abrupt that the effects will be huge.
In a country with chronic shortages of goods and services, where queuing has become the norm, and with runaway inflation, the full effects of this week's price rise are still being calculated by Venezuela's government and its people. Virginia Lopez, Al Jazeera, Caracas.